What is going on, everybody? My name is Devlin. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Fortnite video. This one is going to be a little bit old school. I have been uploading some shorter clips that just sort of highlight littler things. And this one is a callback to the video game commentaries of old, where I'm just going to show you the gameplay and do a commentary over it. And hopefully I'm not too boring or lame or what, I don't know, what do kids say these days? Not on fleek? Off fleek? Hopefully I'm not off fleek. If you guys are new to this channel, I'm an old man. I'm like 28 years old. I'm not a young fella anymore. When I first started in this YouTube racket, I was like, I don't know, early 20s. I certainly haven't been dedicated to YouTube for a long time, although there was a couple years where I did post pretty regularly. But yeah, it's been sort of off and on since then. But anyway, if I try and use slang, chances are anytime I do it, I'm just going to embarrass myself. But I'm also at the age, I'm okay with that. Where I could say something and try and sound cool, and people will laugh at me and be like, "Yeah, well, it's about how I expected that to go," and it doesn't humiliate me anymore. So yeah, here's a game where I landed Mire. As you can see, I'm fast forwarding the entire beginning for you because, well, I'm aware that Mire is not the most exciting place to land in this game, and I'm also aware that Mire is not the most exciting phrase to say several times in a commentary. Because it's tricky to say Mire without making it sound gross, and also it still sounds gross no matter how you say it. So I do respect Mire though. You might not find a lot of action, you might not have a lot of fun, and it might take you forever to get through there because you're bogged down in swamp territory. This is so classic me right here. I will eat storm damage if I see a chest no matter what. So yeah, it's not the most exciting place to land, but you do usually leave with your health intact with some fairly decent loot, and damn, you got a lot of building materials. If you got to scale mountains, if you got to ramp rush bases, if you want to build up in combat consistently. Right now we're encountering the first potato of the game. Somebody's just AFK. I don't know how they're just sitting there and haven't died, especially down by what I call Death River. Because chances of making it past this river are much more slim than your chances of making it past most other places in this game. But sure enough, they were just hanging out, picking their nose. Do you get it? Because she had her pick out. Yeah, just hanging out there doing nothing. So that was a dope, sick headshot. I don't know if you saw that. It was pretty sick. I did a quick double Y, 728 degree fakey no scope there. No, it was actually pretty bad hard scope that took a long time considering she wasn't moving at all. This guy I hit, you know what? I was pretty happy with this shot. I'm not a terrific sniper in this game. I didn't get the headshot, obviously. I didn't clean him up, but it's going to delay him in the storm a little bit. But I'm going to be in the storm a little bit, spoiler alert. But it's also going to eat up items. So if I face him again, running away from the storm into the eye of the storm coming up, then I know that I probably got more of an advantage at this point than I would have otherwise. Here's me eating extra storm damage for a chest again. And then I made a terrible decision here, and in retrospect, I look back at this and go, what was I thinking? I got rid of my health kit. I used it at 89 health so I could pick up this big pot. But I should have known, just looking at my map and looking at that time remaining, which I just obviously did, you could see there, that I'm going to eat storm damage, and I should probably hold on to that health kit. But live and learn, and in my case, I mostly live and rarely learn. So yeah, I'm going to take some storm damage. Probably should have held on to that health kit, but I didn't. That's it is what it is. For the rest of the game, you're going to see, I just finished this game not long ago, maybe half an hour to an hour, enough time to transfer the footage from my PS4 onto my PC and do a couple other little things. So it's still pretty fresh in my mind. I still kind of remember how everything went down. And I do come across a couple of potatoes this game, one of which you already saw, just hanging out, picking her nose in Death River. But the rest of the game is actually pretty exciting. It's a high-pressure environment. As you can see, I'm coming in with the storm, and there is going to be a couple little altercations that go along with that. I've been getting a lot better in this game with dealing with pressure and dealing with stress and not caving. That was one of my biggest downfalls, I would say, when I first started this game. Is my mechanics were okay and my game sense was okay, just being transferred from other games that I played. I had to be that asshole here. I lit this guy up in the storm, and then he died to storm damage. So actually, if you're feeling generous, go ahead and count my kills at the end of this game as one higher, because the storm just happened to get the killing tick on that guy. If you're feeling generous. If not, I understand. Some people are sticklers. But yeah, I've gotten a lot better at remaining cool, remaining calm, remaining collected, which I think is one of the biggest factors in this game. It's a game where the game length is quite long compared to a lot of other games, and you invest a lot into each match. You spend all that time looting, you like scavenge for survival at the beginning. You got to get the item first, you got to kill the people around you, you got to kill the people who hear the shots of that first thing, you got to run the map, you got to evade the storm, you got to gear yourself up. And then when everything sort of comes to a head, it's super nerve-wracking, man. Like it's scary. You don't want to waste all that time and waste all that effort. So it is easy to choke in this game, and it's something that I've done a number of times. But I guess at this point it's just getting used to it, getting comfortable with it, repetition. Obviously here some dude came out of the storm and built up behind me, so I decided to stop beefing with this guy in front of me in his fort and come down here with this guy. My first shotgun shot there was awfully sloppy, but what are you gonna do? Another thing that I've learned as well, like you can see here that I'm healing up because I feel that I'm relatively safe. I know that guy in the first base has got a while to get here, but at this point I do hear him. So what I did was just turtle up, man. This is a strategy I've really come to appreciate and really come to respect. Turtle up, have some pots, take your time, clear your mind, get settled, let the adrenaline shakes dissipate a little bit. If he starts slamming away at your fort, just rebuild, stay calm. This guy got a little too trigger happy with his RPG there. I think on the first shot he actually did himself a mischief and took some damage, which allowed me to clean him up pretty easily with the shotgun. So at this point we've survived a couple people, we've survived that storm. Our time right now is pretty tight. We only got a few seconds until the storm starts moving again. This is one thing that I do really need to work on. I dipped in here to see if there's any healing items. There wasn't, but I'm not going to not take that RPG, obviously. So I remember thinking here that the storm was coming in, and I was sort of checking on my map. Normally in a situation like this, I like to stay along the storm and go into the area where the storm is closest to the next circle, because you know people aren't going to come behind you. They can't be in the storm that long. They will have died, or unless they're like some crazy player and they had 3 health kits and a launch pad and they somehow survived for like 10 minutes out there like Bear Grylls. But yeah, so normally I would have gone this way, but upon rethinking everything, I wanted to try and get to the place where I would be most likely to find some healing. Obviously my shields are full, which is great, but this shot I knew I wasn't going to hit them, but why not spook them a little bit? My shields are full, which is great, and I've got some backup shields, but only 28 health. If I find myself in a shotgun battle at this point, I'm really kind of in danger. I'm in one-shot territory from a attack headshot. So I figured it'd probably be better to go, even though these houses are most likely looted at this point. A lot of people near the beginning of the game leave band-aids. A lot of people near the beginning of the game will get in fights with other players, and the storm will be closing in and they've got a long run, so they'll just sort of abandon the loot that the players dropped, especially if they're maybe across town. I lucked out a little bit here. I found a couple bandages, not the 15 stack I was hoping for, but it was just something to get me by a little bit. Another tip for you guys, if you're finding yourself getting caught out a lot, constantly reload your guns. I'm constantly, like, if I know there's no one near me, I'm flipping through my guns and just spamming that reload button. Not the nicest snipe. Not the nicest snipe. But I hit her, and then the easy follow-up with the AR. Something I used to do with the bolt-action rifle was I would snipe and get a hit and then just let it zoom out, reload, chamber another round, and then try and snipe them again. Whereas I find it's always better, through the experience that I have now, to hit that snipe and then immediately fast swap, even if it's to like a pistol or something. A pistol, an SMG, an AR, something to just put a shitload of shots down range before they can build up or get out of sight. That's usually what I go with now, and it's been working out a lot better for me. My sniping has improved a lot. I was absolute dog shit when I first started, and I'm to the point now where I can even sort of work a crossbow fairly well. Josh or Agaron and I play a lot of duos in this game, and he's been stuck on the one crossbow elimination challenge forever. And it's just been so funny because if I don't have anything scoped or anything ranged, I'll pick up a crossbow and use it for early to mid game. And the amount of kills with a crossbow I've gotten while he's been working on that crossbow elimination challenge is actually hilarious. If you're watching, buddy, I'm not trying to make fun of you. They are, they're tricky to use, buddy. They're tricky to use. Huge get for me right here. Went through, and sure enough, it looks like somebody got into combat earlier and didn't quite squeak out the win and dropped a medkit here, which at this point in the game is a really big get for me. At this point, what I want to do is what I was talking about originally with my storm movement, and that is sort of hug the storm and go in where the existing storm and the new eye of the storm kind of converge. That's how I like to play, especially in solo games. I'm not a big builder. Don't call me Bob. I like to let these people build their giant fortresses and just shoot the shit out of each other, waste all their rockets, waste all their ammo, and I just kind of stay incognito mode a lot of the times. That's how I've gotten most of my solo wins, if I'm being honest. Of course, I'm keeping my eye on his fort as I'm running here. If I see him even peek, I'll start throwing up a couple walls to protect me. All it takes is one quick wall. If you just see the top of someone's head stick over. So running in the open like this, at this distance, isn't as scary as I think a lot of people feel it is. So my plan here, because he's got the biggest fort, is to take his. But on my way there, I spot a guy. He looks like he's lining someone else up. So take him out with a quick headshot. And then I find the guy that he was trying to shoot, line that one up. Not a headshot, but lucky he was a little bit low on health. Probably had a little bit of wear and tear on him from some previous fights. Kind of shitty for him, very beneficial for me. I see there's 2 other players left. I know one of them is in this giant tower. So my plan is to rocket him right now to scare him and make him panic, and then run up and ramp up to his base and get in and finish. Hopefully do some damage with the rockets. But come up, crest that hill, see that this whole tower is hanging on by one piece of wood. Take that one out. He's probably taking some fall damage, pop in, easy headshot. And there's only one other person left. I want to gear up real quick, grab some upgrades, and then probably build a quick little tower right here for the one-on-one. I hear some footsteps, and I'm like, there's no way this guy's right here. And here we go, Potato Pete, just hanging out in the middle of a field, no building, popping individual shots at my one little piece of wood I had in front of me. I have no idea what he was thinking. He probably choked. He was probably super scared. Maybe his first win opportunity. But anyway, there you go, guys. 8 kills. A couple of them were potatoes, but a couple were hard fought. And I had a lot of fun with this game. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.